Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ daily news television show, broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached over 10 million views.
More than 1,000 people have subscribed to our YouTube channel in the last 30 days. We invite you to like and subscribe to Queer News Tonight. We have more subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice in the LGBTQ community. There is no other news program in the LGBT community world like Queer News Tonight.
It is Tuesday, July 15th. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we will tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ evening news show.
Hotspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBT community.
Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ community. We want to inform and educate on the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots magazine and Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 10,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present Pride Fest in August, and we declare that love is in the air with Pride Fort Lauderdale on Valentine's Day, February 14th. Our magazine, events, television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Will Haas. Will is a bi-coastal real estate professional and is the past president of South Florida's most popular gay social club, the Bears of South Florida. Will, bowling with the Bears will be at Manor Lanes on July 20th. Tell me what's happening out.
The Bears of South Florida will roll into action at their much-loved summer event, Bowling with the Bears, on Sunday, July 20th, taking place at Manor Lanes Bowling and Sports Den Pub in Wilton Manors. The event will run from 2 to 4 p.m. with check-in and a pre-bowling happy hour kicking off at 1 p.m. inside the on-site pub. Open to bowlers of all skill levels and event enthusiast spectators. The BOSFL tradition promises 2 hours of friendly competition, laughter, community connection. Bowling Bears, tickets priced at $38, will include 2 games, shoes, pizza, soda, munchies, and sweets. Non-bowling guests can join the fun for only $18, enjoying all the food and cheer without hitting the lanes. Trophies will be awarded, adding a playful edge to the afternoon. More information and registration details will be available at bosfl.org. Early arrivals encouraged. Let the good times roll. You know, I love to bowl with the Bears. We have fun. I actually bought my own bowling ball now. It's great gutter ball, you know. It's just a lot of fun. It's a lot of competition, you know, but it's a fun competition. And we have gutter ball award, and we also have the high score award.
I'd get the gutter ball award.
You know, there's competition for both.
Right.
And it's fun. It's pizza. This is the first time we're actually having it in the afternoon. Usually we have it like on the evening. So we're trying something new here.
Yeah, you know,
it's a great
I
afternoon
love
thing.
things that happen in the afternoon because I really like to be in bed at 10 o'clock, honestly. But, you know, this is great. And for those of us that don't bowl, there's something
$18.
for us to do too. $18.
Cheers.
It's, you know, and I know that the Bears always give back to the community.
Yep.
Are you guys sold out yet?
We're working on it. Working towards it.
I'd be surprised if you weren't, because you guys fill up everything you do so quickly, whether it's your pool parties or going to the theater or anything that you put out there. Seems to just when you used to do the Give Back Mondays, always filled the place. It's a great group of people that it's kind and loving, and it's awesome, and it's a good feel good.
And it's a friendly environment. You can, like, you know, you'll make friends if you don't have anybody you don't
As long as
know.
you don't keep going. "Rawr."
Yeah.
Well, maybe they like it. Maybe you'll make more.
Oh, I guess some people do.
100 bowling bears? What will you guys think of next? Gutterball Gregg is considering participating, throwing caution and dignity to the wind.
Wow. Well, Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Bowling with the Bears
Yeah.
July 20th. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing and subscribing Queer News Tonight. Now let's welcome anchor Gregg Shapiro, an inductee into the Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame. Gregg is an entertainment journalist whose celebrity interviews and reviews run in a variety of regional LGBTQ publications and websites. Got a little tongue-tied there, Gregg. RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Watch Party is held at Willy's Neighborhood Bar. Tell me, what's happening out?
Friday nights are special as RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars will take over the screens and the spotlight at Willy's Neighborhood Bar in Wynwood, Miami. The party will kick off with doors opening at 6 p.m. and the episode watch party beginning at 8 p.m. sharp. Hosted by the always fabulous Patent Pending, this weekly event will be packed with charisma and talent. Admission will be free, keeping the good vibes accessible to all. Presented by 11 Vodka, guests will enjoy special Drag Race happy hour deals, including 11 vodka cocktails during the show and bottle specials on both 11 Vodka and Mexica Tequila. More details will be available at willyswinwood.com, and that's Willys, Willys, just for the record. So we're probably in Wynwood every couple of months, and we've yet to pop into Willy's Neighborhood Bar, but now we'll have to make a special trip to visit Willy's.
Yeah, I like all these new weekly events that are coming up, and also the show starts at 8 p.m. sharp. That's my kind of show.
Right, you just have to sleep in the car and let someone else drive on the way home.
Exactly.
It probably won't be done till 10.
Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 hours. Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's 2 hours.
You know, RuPaul's Drag Race has always been a staple for our community, and to watch it with a room full of our community makes it even that much more fun, because you can laugh and cheer and see who's,
Of
you know.
course, you know, gay group watching. I remember when there was a video bar in South Miami called Cheers, and there was the Dynasty night. It was members
remember
night. Ooh, let me tell you, Crystal and Alexis on that.
Going at it.
So that will be the same as watching.
And I love that
RuPaul
it's
Drag
not
Race.
in Wilton Manors, because we don't all live in Wilton Manors.
I don't. Yeah.
Neither do I. So it's kind of
Right.
nice that you can go other places and not be
Yeah.
in the heart of everybody in town. You know, it's nice to go someplace where you're not as recognized or as new
Meet
faces.
some
It's
new people.
be able to spread out a little bit. So I think it's
Yeah.
great.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Bravo, Willy's.
Bravo, Willy.
Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars Watching Party every Friday. That's a big LGBTQ story for today. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor Glen Weinzimer. He has been a South Florida advocate for over 30 years, raising awareness and more than $16 million for the HIV/AIDS community for 20 plus years. He is also a travel director and corporate events planner. Glen, This is exciting for me. Ladies Love Crew Brunch is set to bring old school vibes on July 27th. Tell me what's happening out.
Well, I'm excited to tell you about it. So, on Sunday, July 27th from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m., She's Gotta Have It will return with another electric edition of Ladies Love Crew, an old school brunch party at Crew Lounge in Woodwood. This monthly queer-hosted event promises to serve up nostalgic vibes and community spirit, complete with classic R&B, hip-hop, soul, and funk. Spun by the legendary Daryl sorry, I get that wrong. Daryl DJ.
The real
DJ Reflex. Sorry, folks. That's the best I could do on that. Aimed at guests 21 and older, the brunch will feature She's Gotta Have It shots of Don Julio Rasposada, chicken and waffles, and hookah sessions. Designed by a tight-knit group of queer friends, this brunch series will celebrate good vibes, great beats, and chosen family. Held every last Sunday of the month, a Ladies Love Crew is more than just brunch. It's a feel-good flashback wrapped in soul. Guests can follow at She's Gotta Have It official on Instagram for updates and party previews. I think it's fun. We were talking earlier about other places other than Wilton Manors or the downtown, Miami, that here in Wynwood, where it's close to the art district and everything, you can have some other things to do and other places to go visit. And even though it says it's women's crew, it's actually open to everybody, which I think is also great.
And Miami's not that far away. So, I mean, it's only about a half hour, depends on traffic and stuff. But you can experience new food and, meet new people, like you said.
Yeah. And also, it's during the day. I mean, I think that, especially for me, as I get older.
Do you have a driver at this point? 'Cause you can't see it?
But, it's nicer to do things during the day. But this is a long brunch from 2 to 7. So that's a long party.
All you can eat. I don't know that.
But I'm looking forward to checking
chicken and waffles. Who
doesn't like
wrong
that?
with that?
Yeah.
Right?
I also love the Spike Lee reference in the She's Gotta Have It name.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It's very clever the way they did it.
Love it. Love it. Queer News Tonight looks forward to seeing you at Ladies Love Crew Brunch on July 27th. That is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
And of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, Cindy Brown. Cindy has been an activist for the LGBTQ plus community for 35 years, working or serving on many local nonprofit boards. She served as the founding executive director of Miami Beach Pride and currently sits on the LGBTQIA advisory board for Miami-Dade County. She also runs her own consulting company, Synergy, for nonprofits, helping with finance, strategic planning, board structure, grants, and more. Cindy, Hotspots magazine self-care issue will be on stands on Thursday, July 17th. Please tell me more. What's happening out?
Hotspots magazine's new issue will be on stands this Thursday, July 17th. And this will be a special self-care edition with 6 features on self-care with medical professional advice. The new issue will have Taylor Dayne and Lisa interview before their concert at the Broward Center. Plus, don't miss Deep Inside Hollywood, Hot Puzzle, Hot Bodies, Hotspot Hotties with David Gonzalez, Out with Scott, and What's Hot. Grab the magazine on Thursday for free on the nearest stand. For more details, visit hotspotsmagazine.com. Hotspots is always filled with all kinds of fun stuff. And let me tell you, Taylor Dayne and Lisa, that's classic.
I'm an 80 boy, so I wonder if I'd take you home at Lisa. Nicole Jam. Remember that?
I think
I have 2 friends. I have 2 friends. They're both named Lisa, and they're married. And
I know those 2 Lisas.
Yes, I know you do. And the 3 of us go out together, and I'm the Cult Jam. Lisa, and the Cult Jam.
There you go.
I'm more about the self-care.
Yeah.
I love that's the only part of the magazine I care about.
Well,
I'm going to start
magazine has
tomorrow
great
by getting
stuff.
a facial. A real one.
I
Don't
didn't
take
say
it, but I
anything.
know. No, actually, at Jimmy Cohn's spa, I finally found a time where both of our schedules. So I'm all about the self-care issue. I think it's going to be great to just have people get other resources. Mm-hmm. We've got a lot of good people in town that do a lot of massages and facials, and sports medicine and everything, and this is a good for our community.
Well, it's important to take care of oneself. You know, if you don't take care of yourself, no one's going to take care of you. So
How sad.
Right.
but
I
Wow.
told Alexis, my niece, that she's going to take care of me when I can't take care of myself anymore.
Are you talking about a real Alexis or
Yeah.
like the speaker?
No,
thing
no,
that you
my
say?
niece.
Hey, Alexa. Well, I don't know
Women.
what you call that little computer thing in your
Yeah,
house.
you know, it's funny
Hey, Alexa.
because I'll call her in my house and Alexa will go,
See?
yeah,
see?
All right. So who responds first?
yeah. So,
Queer News Tonight invites you to grab the new issue on Thursday, July 17th. This is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Cindy Brown, and let's queer up the USA view. Orlando moves closer to a permanent Pulse memorial. Survivors and families of the Pulse nightclub tragedy are one step closer to a permanent memorial. On Monday, the Orlando City Council voted to begin contract negotiations with Gomez Construction, the chosen firm to design and build the memorial honoring the 49 lives lost. This vote chose a months-long process. In March, the city requested proposals for the memorial project. 3 proposals were submitted and carefully reviewed by an advisory committee made up of city staff, construction experts, and most importantly, survivors and loved ones of the victims. Gomez Construction, based in Winter Park, ranked first. If negotiations go smoothly, the final contract will return to the council for approval. Construction is expected to begin in June of 2026 and end by the end of 2027. The council also voted to purchase property directly behind the Pulse site in downtown Orlando. This will provide additional space for future parking and enhance the memorial's design. Survivor Ricardo Negron responded to this development saying, quote, I know there has been a lot of emotions around this 9-year process, but we are finally getting there. So we just needed to go over that last hoop and start putting this vision that so many people have had and start making it into a reality. So we're almost there, end quote. The memorial will serve as a permanent reminder of resilience, grief, and the enduring strength of the queer community. You know, I'm so happy that this is finally going to happen. And the pictures of that memorial are stunning. It is so beautiful. It will definitely honor the 49 victims and the survivors who carry those scars with them every single day.
It gives me chills because it's like everyone goes, you remember where you were when Kennedy was shot? I remember exactly where I was when I heard that news. I was with a friend on vacation in Chicago, and it was the first thing we heard the morning when I got up. And we just like the whole day was sort of a, what? How did this happen? So having a memorial that, it kind of reminds me of 9/11 with the fountain, you know, the wall with the water and the shoes and everything. It looks like it's going to be extremely impactful.
It's elegant, it's peaceful, and it's beautiful. And it's really important that the city's going through with this, especially with taking down of the ship, the Harvey Milk ship, that, you know, instead of whitewashing or taking away our community, this adds to it. And this is very respectful to the families.
Absolutely. I mean, the property belonged to the nightclub owner, and, you know, they can do whatever they want on the property. And it's great that the city council is on board and supporting it. And I think the community, it will definitely be a place that people spend time at.
Yeah, the last time Rick and I were in Orlando, they had just put up what is, you know, the sort of the temporary one, and it was a devastating experience. And we're going back to Orlando in October, and so we'll check that out again, and I'm sure we'll return to see the finished product.
Right.
It's going to be really beautiful.
Yeah, plan on early 2028.
And hopefully the families will be able to heal now and move on a little bit, not forgetting.
Closure.
Yeah.
You know, a little closure to people.
Having that memorial as well. Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep in this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm William Haas, and let's queer up students and youth. Harvard shutters LGBTQ diversity offices amid Trump's pressure. Harvard University is making headlines for all the wrong reasons this week. And what alumni are calling a public capitulation, Harvard College has shut down 3 of its key student offices: the Women's Center, the Office for the BGLTQ Student Life, and the Foundation for Intercultural and Racial Relations. The sweeping rollback follows mounting pressure from the Trump administration, which has explicitly targeted diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts across American institutions. The now defunct websites for these centers have been quietly redirected to a new Office of Culture and Community, a page that avoids mention of marginalized groups or the word quote-unquote diversity altogether. The Crimson reports that the restructuring was announced internally. And the new Office for Academic Culture and Community will replace the former Diversity Office in the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. This is not Harvard's first retreat. In April, the university renamed its campus-wide Office of Equity, Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging to Community and Campus Life. These moves come as Trump administration continues to threaten Harvard's federal funding and accreditation. On Wednesday, the Department of Education and Health and Human Services issued a statement declaring Harvard in violation of federal anti-discrimination laws. The university is scheduled to meet government lawyers in court on July 21st. The fighting for the release of frozen research funds. Meanwhile, a judge has paused Trump's attempt to block Harvard from enrolling international students, who represent nearly a quarter of its student body. Whether Harvard new offices will preserve the spirit of the shuttered ones remains uncertain, but for now, the LGBTQ and minority students have been left with empty pages and growing concerns. This is really sad. I mean, Harvard is supposed to be one of the leading schools in the world, and they're just caving into everything, and they're, what a freedom of speech. I mean, they have all these attorneys that are alumni in Harvard business, they should be fighting this. And but they're also afraid of federal funding.
Yeah, it's all about the research.
Yeah.
It's all about the research, and Harvard does some of the most important research, and the federal government threatening to cut off funding is, I mean
they depend on this.
And we depend on it because we need that research to happen.
Yes.
And, Harvard, with this decision, and if Trump is successful, Harvard should lose its Ivy League status.
Well, and that kind of funding is also sort of across the board. Enrollment is down at a lot of universities across the country because, especially schools that have good medical programs. And I mean, it's just, this is insane. I mean, again, this is what happens in RFK juniors running things. But public capitulation, yes, and lack of backbone. That is, I mean, it's really disappointing. And even more so, it's shocking.
And it's a love-hate relationship with Harvard. At one point, they're standing up and they're refusing to do what Trump has asked them to do. We all, weigh in and give them kudos for doing that. And then they turn around and then they acquiesce and give up some of the control, which is what they wanted to begin with.
Right.
And so, where are they on this scale? They need the federal funding, but there's also private institutions like the Gates Foundation. I don't know if they actually get money from them, but organizations like that give tons of money away to maybe help, revive that funding and put it back in place. I mean, I can't believe that a place, at one point when Harvard stood up, I was like, you know what, they're not my alumni, but I would make a donation if it meant that they could keep the programs going. And then you go, okay, now you're going to give away and take down names just to change them, whether they actually go forward and change what the institution does, or they just change the name of what that service is about.
Right, but the thing is, how will students know that's where to go. That's the other thing. It used to be so much. If it's got if it's got our letters in it, we all knew where to go.
Right.
But now it's a question of making sure everyone is informed.
And 25% of their population of students enrolled are from international. And with everything going on with international and trying to get students in, and students afraid to come, and all those legal issues. Right. So enrollment is down. Is it down because the Americans aren't going?
Right.
It's probably down because a lot of international people are afraid to come. Students don't want to come and don't want to get thrown out and don't want to get stuck here.
Right.
But also want to look at it too. I mean, Harvard is one of our leaders in academics, and other colleges look up to them. And if they're going to cow-tip down to this,
which is why I looked up to them so strongly, because they were fighting back, and I felt it gave others the power to be able to get on their coattails.
Right. And this is just going to bring their stature way down, and it's really unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, and I guess people are going to be going to Stanford and Columbia. And
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, right. So that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now, let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Gregg Shapiro, and let's queer up gay culture. Sidetrack Bar aims to make queer history at O'Hare Airport. Chicago's O'Hare International Airport, the second busiest in the U.S. by flight volume, could soon make queer history. Among the many proposals for new concession spaces at the airport is a bold and beautiful pitch from Sidetrack, the iconic gay bar based in Chicago's Boys Town, also known as North Halsted, neighborhood since 1982. If selected, Sidetrack would become the first gay bar inside an airport in the United States, and quite possibly the world. The proposal is being led by restaurateur Herman Gonzalez, managing partner of Somos Hospitality Group. He's backed by Sidetrack's co-owners, Art Johnston and Jose Pepe Peña, who plan to invest and license the brand for a new space in Terminal 1. Gonzalez says a Sidetrack at O'Hare would offer much more than cocktails and vibes. Quote, "We need to have presence. We need to have a seat at the table. We need to have representation everywhere," end quote. Johnston, now 81, adds, quote, "We have made this a better city, a stronger city, and why not show that to the world," end quote. With more than 80 million passengers passing through O'Hare each year, Johnston says, quote, "There are people from red states who don't think they've ever met a gay person, and they'll get a look at who we are and how much a part of this city we are," end quote. Final decisions from O'Hare are months away, but queer travelers across the country are watching and hoping for liftoff. Well, congratulations to our good friends and fellow Chicago LGBT Hall of Fame inductees, Art and Pep. We love you guys. This is a potentially thrilling and long overdue venture. And even though it's been 30 years since I've been on a plane, next time I'm in Chicago, if the O'Hare Sidetrack is open for business, I'll stop.
We need a segment on that alone.
Yeah. Exactly. Well,
like an intervention.
I think it's amazing. My question is there going to be a special short-term parking for people that just want to go to the airport to go to Sidetrack?
Right.
Yeah, talking about short-term relationships.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's great that we have a presence and that it makes things normalized, but I also think it's also a place where people from other parts of the world, as well as being exposed, could also bring on their hate. And and I don't know how much time everyone gets at an airport. And maybe at O'Hare is a longer time between flights and stuff. But I have mixed feelings about it. I think it's great from a visibility standpoint. I also see problems with it. And will it survive, or will just everybody go in there and it won't really be a gay venue? It'll be whoever happens to be there drinking.
Mm-hmm. But I think though in an airport like this, I mean, there's always layovers and snowstorms and everything else, delays. It gives people a place to go and also kind of call it home, because sometimes, you miss your flights and you miss your connecting flight and you're stuck for the holidays in an airport.
Sure. So I think we need to all invest in those minute rest places. Those are the ones that they have there.
Yeah.
Like, get 10 minutes for $10 and it'd be like a bathhouse.
So if you buy a few,
That, I think, is a little bit. But it'll be the most happening place in the airport. All these other bars, people are drinking and sitting there waiting for the
Depressed.
plane. But
we'll be listening to disco
and over here, they'll be dancing, great music, and
pre-Mile High Club.
I don't know that they're going to have great music and dancing.
Well, music
There's not that much
videos.
time. I
It's
guess.
a
You never know.
The video bar.
You ever been on
They
O'Hara?
have the videos. Yeah.
But you meet the man of your dreams, and there he is on flight 217 to Afghanistan in 10 minutes. And you're like, well, there that goes.
Well, you can hop on the plane with him.
Not to Afghanistan.
I've had shorter relationships than that.
Well, that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.
Now let's dive deep into the big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Glen Weinzimer. Let's grip South Florida and Florida. Florida Councilwoman suspended over Pulse post, claims city overstepped. A Florida city has suspended one of its council members after old social media posts surfaced. These posts included disturbing comments about victims of the 2016 Pulse nightclub massacre in Orlando. Judith Fike, a Groveland City Councilwoman, was suspended last week after nearly a decade of sharing these posts. In it, she appeared to mock the deaths of the 49 victims, most of them queer and Latino, who were murdered in the Pulse shooting. The post read, quote, "Duh, why would the shooter target a gay club? My answer, easier than marching them up steps to push them off the roof. Some sarcasm, some truth." End of quote. Fike defended herself during the council meeting, saying the post was meant as a support to the community. She claimed it referenced Middle East ISIS killings of queer people by rooftop executions, ISIS being the same group that Pulse shooter Omar Mateen pledged allegiance to that night. But the backlash didn't end there. Council members pointed to additional offensive posts, including a racist image comparing Ronald Reagan and then President Barack Obama. Fike admitted she was behind some of the posts, but said others were altered to seem more offensive. She's now suing the city, claiming her suspension is unlawful. Fike was appointed to her council seat last year and is up for election this November. For many in Florida's LGBTQ community, especially so close to the memory of Pulse, this incident is being met with renewed grief and calls for accountability. I understand why they suspended her, but it's politics as usual. She was appointed less than a year ago. How did she get appointed, and why was there no uproar at that point? How come no one spoke up then? Now that she's running for election, we're digging up stuff that's 9 years, 10 years older, and trying to make a case. Well, why don't we just work on go out there and let her run for office at this point? Because all you're doing is giving her more publicity. So let her run for office, and if all these things are true in your campaign, go ahead and attack her and let her lose. But I think you're giving her more attention at this point by suspending her after 10 years. I mean, they're not talking about posts in recent times, and I don't forgive her for what she did, but I think it's just convenient right now to attack her 10 years later, 9 years later.
I do think, though, it sends some kind of a message that we'll find you. It could be 10 years down the road, but you're going to be outed as
because the internet never forgets.
bigot.
No.
Yeah, and so...
But no one's gone after her for 9 months. I mean, she's been in office. They could have 9 years. No, since she was appointed last year.
Yeah.
No one has gone after her directly and said these things until she was started to run for re-election.
Well, we don't know how long the investigation has been going on either.
I
mean, it's hard to say, but yeah, I mean, it
should
have been brought up when she was first appointed. But I'm wondering if it's one of these cases where DeSantis pulled someone off and put someone on.
See, I tried Googling to figure out who she was replacing and who actually appointed her, and I didn't find that out.
Yeah, well, if someone appointed her, they can unappoint her.
Right.
She has no business serving on the council. These people who are just mean. I mean, it's just mean.
When I say this with all the love in my big gay heart,
Go on.
take a hike, bike. And you and your Tony Homepern can go bike yourself.
Ooh. Those are Viking words.
Right.
Look at you.
Wow, wow, wow. That's a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Cindy Brown, and let's queer up lesbians and queer women. Trump targets Rosie's citizenship, and Ellen stands in solidarity. President Donald Trump is reigniting an old feud with a new constitutional overreach. In a recent Truth Social post, Trump threatened to revoke Rosie O'Donnell's U.S. citizenship, calling her a threat to humanity, and suggesting she should stay in Ireland, where the lesbian comic and actress recently relocated. Trump posted, quote, "Because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interests of our great country, I'm giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She's a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America," end quote. But under the U.S. Constitution, he can't. The 14th Amendment clearly states that anyone born in or in the U.S. is a citizen, and no president has the power to take that away. O'Donnell was born in Long Island, New York, and she did not hold back after Trump's post. On TikTok, she called Trump a mentally ill, untreated criminal. On Instagram, she posted a photo of Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, writing, quote, "Hey Donald, you're rattled again? 18 years later, and I still leave rent-free in that collapsing brain of yours. You call me a threat to humanity, but I'm everything you fear. A loud woman, a queer woman, a mother who tells the truth, an American who got out of the country before you set it ablaze. You want to revoke my citizenship? Go ahead and try, King Jeffrey with a tangerine spray tan. I'm not yours to silence. I never was." End quote. This feud is nothing new. In a 2016 debate, Trump famously said, "Only Rosie O'Donnell," when asked about insulting women. He's also called her dumb and disgusting. O'Donnell, now in Ireland, says she won't return until America feels safer. She continues to criticize Trump on social media, and it seems she's not alone in this battle. Now, Rosie's longtime rival is standing with her. After more than 2 decades of tension between them, Ellen DeGeneres, who's been quiet in the media since the end of her show, posted a surprising message of support. Ellen shared a carousel on Instagram, one screenshot of Trump's post, one of Rosie's full response, and a simple caption, "Good for you, @Rosie." Ellen's public defense adds a surprising twist to the Trump versus Rosie saga, reminding viewers that queer solidarity can rise even from old divides. Well, leave it to Rosie to say exactly what is on her mind, and I'm grateful for that because he's a blowhard, and he says things that are ridiculous. Yeah, let him try to revoke her citizenship. Can't happen.
Right.
He thinks he has the power to do anything in this world, and
he's trying.
Yes.
yeah.
He's trying his best.
But Rosie O'Donnell, who's now my new spirit animal, continues to be a beacon of wisdom and truth. The Orange Orifice never got over Rosie trashing him on The View more than 18 years ago, and has carried that festering chip on his slumping and slouching shoulders since then. And it's really a laugh when a threat to humanity calls someone smarter and more respectable a threat to humanity. As Rosie said on The View in December 2006, quote, "Donald, sit and spin, my friend," quote.
I love Rosie. She's outspoken. She's She's out there with all of us, supporting our community. You know, I remember watching her show, and she always had the arts and different, theater and stuff on the show. And good for her for finding another home. Unfortunately, we don't have the same resources she does to be able to buy a second house in Ireland or Italy or anywhere else. So, it's great that she could escape, and I'm glad she's not withering on the vine while she's gone.
But at least her response was smart, funny, and she got back at him. But at least she didn't go down to his level, and be derogatory per se and be nasty.
She's
educated,
smarter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and classy.
Classy with the
I never would have thought Rosie is classy, but the way she
now,
she
is now, with this.
Well, that's a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight. Those are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight. These anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ family.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Cindy Brown, and on behalf of these LGBTQ reporters and anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Will Haas, Shapiro, and Glen Weinzimer, we'll see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ world, we hope you will join us by embracing love, generosity, bravery, be transformative, and queer. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.